Back with Bobby and JJ Radio. Today is our show is entitled Volunteer San Antonio. This is January. We are trying to cover all the New Year's resolutions, and one of our resolutions has always been to give back more to our San Antonio metro community. Our first guest is Eric Cooper. He has been in the food bank industry for over 20 years. In 2001, Eric became the youngest executive director in the history of the organization, which is very impressive. He's the president and CEO of the San Antonio Food Bank, has been since 2011. In over 13 years, Eric has grown the San Antonio Food Bank to more than 160 employees. He's increased the food distribution from 10 million pounds to over 54 million pounds of food, which is awesome. Eric, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on. And, it's really not about any one person. It's about a community. And
sure.
I've just been privileged to be a part of a great team. And, San Antonio, one of the most amazing communities I think there is.
Sure.
When it comes to just
we're part
service
of it.
and giving. And so we're just having a lot of fun.
So, Eric, can you give us some numbers? How many people do you help weekly, monthly, annually?
You bet. So the food bank feeds about 58,000 people each week, and we do that through a lot of great partners. The food bank is one of 203 food banks in the United States.
That doesn't seem like a lot.
It doesn't, actually. When you think about
how many metro areas there are.
Yeah. So, but the 203 are each given service territories. Ours is actually 16 counties.
Wow.
So pretty much the, most of South Texas, and within those 16 counties, we have about 535 different nonprofits that we actually work with to get them food, and then they are the ones that are providing it to the families in need. So all throughout South Texas, we're working with different organizations, which include great nonprofits like the Boys and Girls Clubs, the Red Cross, the Salvation Army. I mean, any nonprofit that if they're getting food to families, they're generally partnering with us at the food bank to get that food. So
the areas that you're serving, say 16 counties, where are they geographically located, roughly?
Well, you want to think about kind of from New Braunfels out west to Rock Springs, down the border to kind of Crystal City, and then Pearsall, Seguin, and around. So
sure.
A pretty good-sized section of Southwest Texas. And again, it's really trying to get food from those that have it to those that need it, and we've got lots of different strategy to collect food. You guys know from being out at the warehouse.
Sure.
Food literally comes from the field to the dinner table.
Yeah.
We'll work with farmers and growers to get fresh fruits and vegetables.
Right.
We'll also work with food manufacturers and processors. We have a great partnership with grocery retailers. We've got one of the best here in San Antonio, H-E-B. Super great to work with. We also then work with restaurants, hotels, and caterers, places that have prepared food to be eaten and it's not. We'll actually rescue those leftovers and get those to our partners that run kitchens. So kind of the system is waste not, want not.
Sure.
Really getting food from anyone that has it. Most people hear of us when we're doing food drives, so they assume we only handle non-perishable food.
Right.
But that's what's most important for a residential donation. The food industry is who really stocks our shelves.
Right.
And that comes in a lot of different ways.
So Bobby and I have taken a group out there. We call it like the trade group give back. So it's our past clients or family and friends, and we've been out there on Saturdays. And it's a really fun time.
It's cold.
We try to be into the deep freezer. The deep freezer, I don't know how cold is it in there.
Yeah, so we actually coined the phrase that we are the coolest place to volunteer.
That is the coolest place to volunteer.
Yeah, sure. Close to cold.
As
when you come and volunteer, there's generally three things that you'll be experiencing. You can either be working in one of our kitchens,
right,
preparing meals, or you can work in our farm and garden, which is great most of the year, except for the summer. Kind of gets a little warm.
Yeah.
And then the warehouse. And in the warehouse, you're usually working, packing boxes, sorting food. But the warehouse can include our freezer. And we get a lot of frozen product that's donated and needs to be sorted and boxed. And I think that's what you guys were doing.
Yeah. Well, Bobby's really short. Now that I know that you guys can farm, he's so short, he can just pick up lettuce like
is 6 foot short?
As he runs.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know 6 foot was short.
I don't think we're utilizing his talent as a being such a pint-sized human being. But to go back to our Saturdays, it's one of the funnest times we ever do. It's so organized. It's like they get everyone into this, the lobby, and then they pep rally everyone up. My wife and my mom have actually gone and done preparing the like the lunches or whatever for some of the different organizations, and they said that was a ton of fun. I haven't done that part yet because I love to be in the freezer. Me and Bobby, we even have videos on Facebook where we were trying to like time each other to see how fast we can wrap up the pallets.
Of course, there was no competition. I dominated.
Yeah, he did dominate because of his size. He's so small.
But strong and powerful and quick.
That wasn't it at all.
And handsome.
But we've had like 30 people there, and we all try to get together, and it's just a great deal of fun. What I like about it too is that if you have a child that's 8 years old or older, you can bring them. And a lot of my past clients and my family. Some of our children, unfortunately, they feel a little bit overprivileged. It is a great way to get them somewhere and let them know that the community needs you. You have a responsibility for the community. I think it's the easiest way to show people that, and especially with their children. It's one of the greatest experiences that we've had for sure.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that. And I tell you, man, for all your listeners, if you've got kids that you want to bring out, I'll say all ages. And if my staff give you a hard time, you tell them Eric said it's okay.
Eric said it. Okay.
It's really important, I think, to bring your kids because, it's important to learn about service, about giving. It gives you a perspective on maybe an issue or trial that you're going through.
Yeah.
In doing this work, the most powerful thing that I've learned is that, when you are feeling down and discouraged and you feel like, the weight of the world's on your shoulders just crushing you and your trials and burdens are just too tough to carry, the quickest and easiest way to lift that load off your back is to take somebody else's and put it on, take their trials and toss it on your back. And just by doing that, it'll renew you and give you a fresh perspective. And I think for kids, for them to have that opportunity to see other struggles that maybe they haven't seen or realized can give a great perspective. So please come on out and volunteer. There's so much to do. We'll have about 1,000 volunteers a week come through our doors, but we need more. And so the easiest way often is with a group like you guys have done.
Right.
Organize just a bunch of folks that want to come out, but if you're part of a club or a church or a school or, your neighborhood association or your company would like to come volunteer, come out. We'll get it all set up. All you have to do is show up.
And you make it fun, too. That's the best part.
Well, I know when you guys do the beatbox, that's always fun.
Yeah,
and,
try to beatbox.
It's our passion.
Music and volunteer work, it comes together.
So if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Bobby and JJ Radio. We're sitting with Eric Cooper, which is the president and CEO of the San Antonio Food Bank. So, Eric, can you tell us who is able to receive food from the food bank?
So any family that might be struggling can come and get resources. We tend to work off of the federal poverty guidelines. So it's income-based, and so depending on how much you earn, that will determine what you qualify for. But there's lots of different programs and services that are available, not just food. I think that's what most people obviously think of the food bank as a place to get food, but if you're lacking access to health care, we can help with that process. We have workforce development training opportunities. So our kitchens run as culinary schools. So if anyone's unemployed and would like to be a chef, you could come into those classes and go through the curriculum, and we can work with local employers to get you a job at a restaurant or a hotel or a caterer. We can also educate families about nutrition. And so we spend a lot of time working with individuals on the right foods and the right amounts at the right time, just really trying to nourish the community. And so educating families on cooking and so just lots of different services. And I think the best way to find out if you're in need is just give us a call. You could do that either through the United Way Help Hotline, which is 211, which is pretty easy to remember, 211.
Right.
You can call that, and they can connect you directly to our call center, or you can call our call center directly, which is 431-TEAM, 431-TEAM. If you call that number, we've got folks there from 8 to 8, Monday through Saturday, and they'll work with you on whatever your needs might be and get you the resources that you might need.
So you mentioned the nutrition program. I know you have other programs such as the Texas Second Chance program, children's programs. Can you touch on these other programs that you have?
Yeah, so I mean, again, we really believe that we serve the entire community, and that's those with resources and those without resources. And so we've talked a little bit about kind of giving resources, whether that's time or food, or if you'd like to make a financial contribution, you can do that. But on the side of those needing resources, we talked on kind of eligibility, but specific, demographics. If you're a senior, we've got food box programs that are, connecting food to seniors.
Sure.
We also have lots of kids programs. Again, great partnership with our local Boys and Girls Club, which you guys are going to be hearing a little bit about in a minute. But Boys and Girls Clubs do a great job of mentoring and tutoring and recreation for kids. We provide the hot meal that can be served at the clubs, so the kids get nourished after school and during those summer months, and when they're away from their national school breakfast program. But it's just lots of different programs there at the food bank to meet specific populations and help families when they're struggling.
Let's talk about this event that you have coming up, the Main Plaza Farmers Market on March 10th.
Yeah, so really, as talked about, the opportunity is the right food and the right amounts at the right time. That's really the solution to hunger.
Sure.
And so all of us need to be, eating healthy, right? Getting a good dose of fresh fruits and vegetables. And so for so many communities, they lack access to a traditional grocery store, maybe geographically.
Right.
There's not a HEB for 8 or so miles, and so those families, if they don't have transportation, will shop at more corner stores and
right.
convenience stores, which might not have the right selection of produce items.
Or if they do, it's very expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not, to be negative at all towards those convenience stores. It's just, that's not their primary, products. And
sure.
so it's, quick grab stuff. And so, we really work with our local farmers to set up farmers markets in areas where families have, a struggle to get geographically to food. So
that's awesome. So if anyone wants to get more information, they can call 431-TEAM. That's 431-TEAM, and you said there's people there from 8 to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, or they can just go to safoodbank.org. And you guys are located on Old Highway 90 right off of Callahan.
Yep, just southwest side of town, and, always lots going on. But give us a call if you're in need or you'd like to give services. Volunteer is a big opportunity for us.
Great. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate your time. We'll be right back with Bob and JJ Radio.